This video is sponsored by Saily. We are currently in Auckland, docked at Half Moon Bay Marina, undergoing an extensive refit on our standing rigging. We're making great progress, but there's so much more work to be done before we can set sail away from New Zealand. And in the midst of it all, we find out some life-changing news.
While the standing rigging refit is our number one priority, we've taken the opportunity here at the marina to tackle a number of other projects. We received the control valve we needed to repair our refrigeration system, so I tackled that right away. I also took a few hours to replace the lines on our anchor bridle that were shredded in the Cook Islands last season. This is actually the second time in our 5 years of cruising that I have replaced these bridle lines, the last being in Colombia. Our anchors and chain were starting to look pretty rough after scraping across rocks throughout the South Pacific. So we pulled out all 275 feet of chain, disassembled our Mantis anchor, and Rich was kind enough to loan us his truck and help us load it all in the bed. A benefit of being in a major hub like Auckland is access to all industrial services, so we dropped this pile of metal off at a galvanizing shop.
Well, this morning I would love to say that we are doing more of our rigging work and boat work, but instead we are headed to the airport. So we're gonna go on a little surprise mission to Gary's brother's 40th birthday party. So it's a surprise. No one knows we're coming. We decided to go a couple months ago before we realized that we had this rigging issue to deal with. But that's okay. The boat's in really good hands with the guys here, and we feel really good about leaving it. Especially knowing that there will be people on the boat every few days. So anyway, we're going to be gone for like a week. We're going to catch our flight to LAX and then LAX to New York.
Let's go.
Before flying back to the US, we remembered that we actually don't have US cell phone plans anymore, but we still needed to be connected as soon as we made it to the airport so that we could arrange for a pickup. Luckily, we have already downloaded Saily, our go-to eSIM app. We've used it all across the South Pacific, and it works just as smoothly in the US.
It's super easy because you only have to download the app once. One install, and you're all set to switch between countries without messing with different eSIMs. It saved us a ton of time without having to try to connect to the airport Wi-Fi or go find a SIM card upon arrival. The plans are so much more affordable than what the big carriers charge for international access. Saily's eSIMs are available in over 200 destinations and are easy to use. Just open the app, pick a plan, follow the prompts, and just like that, you're connected.
So if you're traveling soon or just want a reason to stay connected anywhere you go, definitely check out the Saily app. Right now, they're offering an exclusive 15% discount on any Saily data plan using our discount code SAILING1Life. We'll put the link in the description below. All right, cheers guys, back to our video. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Showing up unannounced on my parents' doorstep from halfway around the world is one of my favorite stunts to pull. We had seen my mom and aunt just a few months back, but it had been well over a year for the rest of the family. The stunned looks on their faces tell the story better than we could.
How could you possibly be here? You're rigging! Oh God! I can't believe you came. What my?
Hi, we're here for you.
We heard we had a baby to see.
My sister's first child was born as we were sailing to New Zealand, so to be able to hold her for the first time was so special. Traveling full-time, so far away from home, these moments mean so much to us.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Everyone was pretty shocked to see us, but we had one more surprise that we were pretty sure would stun them even more.
I'm gonna have to take this one though, because
Oh my God!
Congrats.
Gary. We had recently received some news that we had been dreaming of and hoping for.
Yes.
It says that I'm pregnant.
Pregnant.
This moment might look a little different than you'd expect for such life-changing news.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Or a girl.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it because it's been like that before. Honestly, we were holding our breath. We were a bit hesitant as we had unsuccessfully been down this path before. So even though we were over the moon inside, we were also feeling cautious, nervous, and scared all at once. 4.5 years ago, we went against the grain. We bought a boat, quit our jobs, sold our home and belongings, chasing a dream to travel the world by sea. Having children was always on our radar, but we wanted to live this chapter first. And now we are crazy enough to think we can have it all.
After breaking the news, we went to surprise my brother at his 40th birthday party. While we celebrated back in New Zealand, the guys were pressing on with the rigging refit of One Life, hoping to have her ready for our return. Before long, though, it was time to say a very difficult see you later.
When we returned to One Life, our anchor chain and anchors were all ready for pickup.
Very good.
Rich let us borrow his truck again, and we hauled it all back down the dock to One Life. We assembled the Mantis anchor, marked the lengths of the chain, and loaded it all back on board, looking ready for a few more years of life on anchor.
While we were gone, Rich and the guys put on all new stays. So the last step now is to tune the boat. So we're going around adjusting each tie rod below deck first and getting them nice and taut, but without pulling the deck down, and checking to make sure that the deck is level. And then we'll go around and start doing the rig tuning process. So what's the method? Tighten it till it starts to pull down on the deck. You don't want to deform the deck, but you want it snug.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll start loading up, and we'll just go for feel, make sure there's no humps or hollows or anything. There's nothing here to give us any gauge.
Right.
It's just we don't want the deck starting to raise, and we can also with the turnbuckle straight onto the chain plate. You know, you'll see it lift. We don't want that going on. You can almost hear the second.
You can see the chain plate start coming up. Yeah.
Sideways too.
Including the two on yours.
Loose splits up.
Definitely. Wow. Well, our rigging is almost complete. The forestay had to come off real quick to shorten it just a little bit to get it in the right range of adjustment. And the guys just came over and put it back up. So all of the rigging has been replaced. Everything is good to go. At this point, we just need to do the tuning. So it's kind of tight right now. They started out by tightening the cap shrouds on either side, and then the lower forwards and lower afts to get the side-to-side tuning right and to make sure that the mast was straight up and down and not leaning to port or to starboard. And then the next step of the tuning is to get the right amount of pre-bend in the mast by pulling the backstay back and bending the mast back to tension the forestay and the staysail stay. And it's all pretty close now, but we're going to let it sit overnight. Rich is going to come back tomorrow
and do a final tuning, and then we'll take her out for a sail and check it out and maybe make some more adjustments based on how it performs when we're sailing. But we're super, super stoked to be almost done with a complete re-rig of One Life. That's going to be a huge, huge thing out of the way for the next 10 years for us. And we'll feel good about our rig and know that everything's gone through and everything's safe. So when we're doing our sails between here and Fiji and wherever else we're going to go, we'll be feeling extra, extra safe with the rig and not be worrying about it when we're offshore in a 40-knot blow. So yeah, that's going to be a big relief, and we're super, super thankful for Rich and his team. They've been so good to us, and they've made sure that everything done on this boat is done absolutely right. You know, no corners were cut and everything was checked. We pulled all the chain plates, we checked the tie rods even, we electropolished things, and just went the extra mile to make sure that everything was going to be good to go. So we've got to put the sails back up in the morning, and then we'll be getting close. We've got a few other projects to take care of here on One Life. I've got to install a brand new water maker, but that's still going to be put off because that's secondary to getting the rig up. And yeah, we're just trying to get our butts in gear here. We woke up and it was 48 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 9 degrees Celsius in the boat this morning here in Auckland, and that's way too cold. So it's time for us to head to the tropics, and we've got a fair bit of work to do to get there, but we know we can get it done. And in the next few weeks, we should be on our way to Fiji. And we're super excited for this next chapter. It's been a really nice long stay in New Zealand, and I'm sure we'll talk a lot more about that, but we're really looking forward to getting sailing again and getting on to Fiji. Rich brought over our boom vang, re-rigged with all new lines, and gave us a hand hoisting the Genoa up the furler. We're back at it this morning. Brooke and I hoisted the staysail first thing this morning since there was no wind, and then Rich came by and helped us get the Genoa up, and after that we put the boom vang back on. A lot of little jobs left to put it all back together, but the boom vang's reinstalled, and right now Rich is going around doing I'd say a close to final tune, because we're still going to go out and sail and maybe make a few more adjustments, but he's going around tightening everything up a little bit more and getting it dialed in. Well, we've spent the last couple days just tightening up loose ends and putting the inside of the boat back together, because it was a pretty big disaster in here with all the projects we had going on. But the rigging is complete, and Rich is amazing, and he's arranged so that I don't have to dive and clean the bottom. We're going to head over to the travel lift and get a quick haul out and a pressure wash before we go test sail. So he's got that all set up with us here at the marina. It'll just be a quick haul out in the travel lift, pressure wash, and right back in. We'll probably be out of the water for all of 30 minutes. But that'll be really nice since the water here is freezing, and I really don't want to get in and clean the bottom. And it'll give us a chance to check out the bottom and check out some other stuff that we haven't seen in a while. So we're going to run over and do that today, and we're getting close to being ready to be on our way to Fiji.
Every time we do this, it makes me nervous. I don't know why. The haul-out crew at Half Moon Bay Marina was incredibly professional and efficient. Of all our times being hauled out in travel lifts over the years, this one seemed to be the most smooth.
So that was a really fast pickup.
I don't mess around here. I think they've done it a time or two. That was the quickest pickup we've ever had.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They maneuvered One Life into the power wash bay where she would get cleaned. Okay, so we just hauled out. It was super smooth, probably the easiest haul out that we've done. We were just giving One Life a quick pressure wash, which is amazing because here in New Zealand, you have to have a clean bottom to go into the next port. Within like 30 days or something, your bottom has to be clean. So it really saved Gary from having to get in the cold water. And it's being pressure washed, so they're doing an awesome job, and it gives us a chance to just make sure there's nothing going on with One Life's bottom. I think she looks pretty good. In addition to the marina, Half Moon Bay offers a full-service boatyard and hardstand area with all marine services you could possibly need on site, including, of course, independent riggers. The entire yard surface and working area is concrete, making for one of the cleanest boatyards we have ever seen. And they operate not one, but 2 travel lifts capable of handling boats up to 85 tons. That's about 6 times larger than One Life.
That is officially the fastest haul out that we will ever do. Just like that, we're back in the water. I think we were out of the water for all of 20 minutes, but it was good to take a look at everything and get the bottom pressure washed. Everything looks good, so we're back in and we're gonna go for a sail. The splash went as smoothly as the haul out, but unfortunately, the afternoon winds that were predicted never showed up. So the test sail would be postponed, and instead we hung out on the dock and drank some beers with the rigging team. Hey, what's a sailor to do when there's no wind?
It zigzags so much. Yeah, it's alright if you've got a yacht coming.
Yeah, you can see the mast.
I should say that in
Wow, the sail's out finally. What are you guys checking right now? What are you guys looking at?
Just the luff tension, so you don't want the Genoa halyard loose at any point, otherwise it's likely to get halyard wraps, and that's what causes more stays to fall down.
And at the moment, there's the swivel, the exposed amount of foil section at the top. We want to decrease that. So then if the halyard is a bit slack or whatever, we don't want that spinning and getting over a halyard wrap around the forestay. So what we'll probably do is get the young fellas, we'll just put a little pennant at the top, just extend the height, so we get the swivel a little bit higher. So it helps lessen that.
Rich, what were you saying about the main?
The leech cord on the back end looks like it might have disconnected from up the top, so that's why you get the flutter.
Okay,
So we'll want to get that out, but we have to drop the main on the deck to be able to do that.
got it.
The clean bottom.
It's a very clean bottom.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
Flat water.
We don't want any movement to the leeward, on the leeward sides. You can have like a shimmer or but a wobble, but you don't want any. So we'll just take a couple of turns out of on everything.
This probably isn't full load yet.
No, and there's no swell. You don't have any bashing into any seaway, etc. But there will be growth and there will be some stretch and settling that.
Yeah.
So the idea of coming out was to give it a sort of a final tune-up, just to see the boat. The mast setting up really well. Forestay backstay, forestay tension's really nice. The tie rods all seem to be behaving themselves, but we're just doing a couple of turns on everything all around, just to try and get any wobble to lure it out of the rig. We don't want to see that. It's brand new cables, brand new 1x19. We expect to see some stretch, but yeah, we'll just give it. This is just a final tune-up until.
Rich really went above and beyond to make sure that One Life was set up as optimally as possible. We completed a few tacks upwind so that each side of the rigging could be checked under load and adjusted.
Ready?
Yeah, it definitely seems like we can point a good bit higher because we've got way more forestay tension on now.
She's on fire now.
Solid 6 knots.
Oh,
Look at us go.
645. She's climbing in the red zone.
There we go. Flying to Fiji.
Yeah, well, just going south.
Just have to go the right direction.
Look, a little bit.
Flying. I think we got some current behind us.
Yeah, we must. We have a knot of.
Tide's coming up.
We have a knot of current.
Yeah.
Boy, off we go.
Our mainsail furler was working beautifully from the cockpit now, giving us a huge change in safety, being able to comfortably reef from inside the protection of our enclosure. We motored back into the marina to our slip and immediately got to work removing the mainsail once again from the boom so we could repair the leech line.
Well, we just got done with our test sail with Rich and Honey from Independent Riggers, and it went really well. The boat sailed great. The forestay tension now is so much better, so we can point way better upwind. And the one thing we've got to change is our mainsail. The leech was fluttering a lot. So Rich went to adjust the leech line and we noticed the leech line is broken. So we just pulled the mainsail off the boom real fast and we're gonna bring it over to the shop so we can fix that. All the work that we did on the boom and rebuilding the furler and taking that off the mast and everything, it seems to have really helped. And then replacing the 2 blocks on deck that were broken really helped too. So now we should be able to reef from the cockpit again.
Yes, we still have Gus the van, and he has been quite handy to have at the marina, and even let us bring the mainsail to the shop without having to remove the battens.
Rich had a special invite for us the next evening that we could not pass up. This is crazy. Just pushing a button and the main's coming out.
What are we doing out here?
We're going for a Friday night rum race on a 62-foot South African custom cat.
Get that. You give me the comments and
Yeah. Well, when you look at the book, you just roll up in the branch when you get down the road.
This is far from the type of sailing we are used to, and we had an absolute blast. Big thanks to Ant and Janine for having us on board, and to Rich for taking such good care of us and ensuring that One Life is safe for our future little crew member. And don't forget to check out Saily with the link in the description. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.